and you lose, you're still better off. If
That's
you
right.
bet on God and you win, you're more better off.
More
And-
better off.
Yeah.
There you go.
More,
Well, you
more,
look at
there-
if atheism is true, and you have two people dying in a hospital bed, one on the right is an atheist, one on the left is a Christian. Okay, they both draw their breath at the last split second. The atheist gets no aha. There's nothing. There's no consciousness at that point. There's no aha moment. There's no, see, I was right. There's no nothing. The Christian draws their breath, expecting to see Christ, and that's it. They fade out. They're gone.
they have reason
there's
to
no
be
aha
at
moment.
peace, even if they
That's right.
don't exist.
That's right.
Yep. And now you switch the roles of reverse. What God does exist.
Mm.
All right. The atheist is left with, I don't know whether any of you really been like in a situation like an earthquake or like a lightning strike that is so close, you could feel the shock wave and smell the ozone.
I felt the shock wave. I've been close enough to a tornado. My visibility went down, and people that were just a quarter mile or less in front of me, this was while driving trucks, so I could hear the people that were yelling that said that they could see the tornado in front of them. I was that close.
Well, that's the kind of, that's a temporal power. That's something that we all can have the possibility of running across. And I've been that close to a lightning strike. I've been actually caught in a rogue wave where I was almost sucked out to sea, but instead just got slammed into the rocks, grabbed the rock while I was underwater, till the wave went down, and I was all cut up, but alive. All right. So I know that those powers out there, I've been in earthquakes. And the thing is there is no rational part of your mind that's ready to discuss anything in those moments. Every cell in your body is telling you, get away. Okay.
Yeah, survive.
All right. With that lightning strike, it was just move away from the area, get safe. That's all I cared about. Same with the earthquake. And that, again, is just a terrestrial power. Imagine being in front of the power that creates and sustains the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
Where is your rational list of like complaints and everything that you're going to give off in the face, of this God to prove him wrong? You're not. The only thing you're going to do is power, because you are the wrong person in the wrong place at the wrong time, and there's nowhere to run. All right.
I was going to
Every
say,
knee will bend. I mean, we're all someday, everybody someday is going to say who he is.
Yeah.
It's coming, whether they want to face it or not. So every knee will, and yeah.
We will bow.
I was going to say.
And honestly, one of my personal beliefs is that the biggest part of hell, the biggest part of torment for those in hell are going to be to be able to see what the beloved of God receive, to be able to see God and not be able to turn away. In other words, that's now a fact, like the ground underneath your feet. God exists. It's no longer something that you can debate. And to know that you turned your back on it and that you want to be away from him, even if it basically burns you to a crisp to be, that far away from him. You're going to want to be out of his presence, and you're going to want to know that you always are going to be tormented by the thought, I chose wrong. I chose wrong.
Yeah.
And you're always going to, and I honestly believe they're going to have those moments to where knew someone was sent to them and they scoffed them away. Because I'm dealing with a scoffer right now at work. I mean, there's a couple guys that we'll get together, and every time it just seems like we start talking about Christ, and it just seems every time he walks by. And this last time he said, "Why don't y'all just start hugging?" And I was like, "Well, I will if the Lord tells me to give him a hug." But he him every time, and it's like it's. I heard for the guy, I don't know. I pray for him, and I've tried to figure out how to talk to the guy, but it's tough,
Right.
Because I know what's waiting for him. I really, in my heart, believe I know, because this book right here. And,
Right.
Hell to me is an unhindered, unrestrained conscience that just torments you with every wrong and every right, every wrong you did and every right you could have done, and every God you had.
Right.
And that's going to last for an eternity. I can't imagine that.
We cannot imagine. We can't get it.
I would have to say it would be it would have to be incomprehensible, because how can you imagine a place where every single little blessing that we take for granted in the world as it is right now are all gone?
Right.
Down to the smallest little things. And with everything gone like that, I don't think we have any way to comprehend what it would be like.
Right. Well, there's zero love, and I walk into the dollar store and there's love, okay, as far as nobody wants to hurt me, but you know what I'm saying. There's zero love there. You can't imagine a world with no love. I mean, I know our world is this great United States is really in a bad way, but there's still love there.
Yeah.
And when that Holy Ghost is taken out and it's gone, man, it ain't nothing I want to be a part of.
Yeah. And that you also have to remember that hell wasn't made for us. Hell was prepared for the devil and his followers. All right. It was not made for humans. All right. We just get to choose who we're going to stake our flag with, on that last day. That's it. And for the people that end up there, they're going to see exactly why they're there. They're going to understand exactly every single rescue mission that was sent to them. And they're going to understand exactly the love it took God to come down and be humiliated in front of his own creation and crucified on a Roman cross.
Yeah.
You know what else they're going to understand, Patrick? That why they're there was just.
Yeah, exactly. That's just it. Their mouth is going to be silenced. They're going to have no complaint, no speech, no nothing else, because they know, and they can't lie to themselves in that place.
No.
And if I was correct with the idea beforehand that God might hide some of their belief because it would be a more merciful judgment, even though they are facing damnation. If that's the way that it happened, I wouldn't doubt as well that they would end up seeing how merciful that God is to them, despite their damnation is still be given to them anyway, because things were made to where it would not be worse.
Right. Those people are definitely everybody's going to worship the Lamb. Everybody's going to know that, you know what? God was right. We were wrong.
That's one of my favorite verses in the Bible. Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess Jesus is Lord. And you know who's going to confess this? Satan himself's going to bow his knee and say Jesus is Lord. Yeah. And I'm going to shout. That's shouting ground, brothers. when that lying snake says the truth, it's coming. We're another day closer.
Well, he already says a lot of truth. He just twists it around and adds a little bit of lie here and there.
When will your adventure begin? Join the Federation and become part of a mission to traverse to the skies. You can help our humanitarian missions and you can help our disaster response units. In a world where political discourse has left a void in our world's ability to help hurricane and other natural disaster victims, it's the role of the Federation to stand tall and make a difference. Shop the Federation Promenade and make your donation at trekfederation.com today.
This is 2A in 2 minutes with Jason Gouffre.
What do I trust? That's easy. My firearms. They are simple. They obey every command. They do not care for what or how they are applied. They merely are a tool to accomplish a task. This task is something that many argue. Sometimes it can be evil. Sometimes it can be good. Sometimes it can be both. It all depends on who wields said tool and their intent. This is true of all tools, from a hammer to a firearm to a car to a commercial airliner. All are tools that can be used for good, evil, or both, depending on who wields it and their intent. What I can trust is that my intent with a powerful tool such as a firearm is the just action, the good and shielding action that allows me to protect those whom I love and even those whom I may not even know. And my country's founding document affirms this good and honorable action with firearms. The United States Constitution calls us to heed the mantle of responsibility to care for ourselves and others in our community, not in an enabling way, but in a manner of just service to yourselves and your community by helping in preserving law and order. And even when the powers that be intend to take from us which our Constitution has granted, especially then we are called to rightly and justly defend ourselves from the tyranny that has arisen. However, the tyrants can never infringe upon your ability to learn. Mindset, tactics, skills, then gear. Acquiring a firearm is step one, but last on the list. For you see, a firearm can always be trusted to do a job you intend and train for. To protect from all who would take what is rightfully yours is a just and constitutionally valid intent. Whether you're defending against a common criminal or an agent of the state, a firearm is the universal equalizer.
Contact Jason by sending an email to a@jasongouffre.com.
You are listening to the Tin Can Radio program.
Remember last week I told you about a quote I couldn't remember from Pascal?
Yeah.
The quote was, "The heart has its reasons that reason knows not."
Right.
That's good. That's good, Patrick. Yeah, that's good.
And it's like I've always remembered that, and I've been impressed with that because I go, man, if that doesn't like speak to my life, because I've been drawn away by my heart so many times.
Well, I mean, Pascal talks Pascal talks a whole lot about how we are a creature that is kind of completely built with the whole idea of a built-in contradiction anyway, because we have our spiritual and moral mindset, and we have our, physical reasoning mindset with the proofs and everything along on that, because emotion and reason don't always go well together.
No, they don't.
And that's often an internal conflict in man.
Yep.
Professing themselves
that's the essence of human,
Professing themselves wise, they became fools.
Yep.
And changed the nature of God into something that creeps along the earth. I mean, that's what unbelief leads to, and especially an unbelief that says there is no God. It turns us into something we were never meant to be.
Richard Dawkins is in his famous quip that he just said a couple of weeks ago, where, saying, well, yeah, I believe Christianity is false and everything, but I also believe that there are worse things out there waiting to come in and take its place now.
Yeah. Like
why
Islam
does he see
from
in
his
England
argument.
what's coming in and taking its place?
Dawkins.
Yeah, he won't last too long in the new religion that's coming.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people are going. If it does turn Christianity over, this worldwide religion that's coming, there won't be room for people like him. Well,
How we doing, gentlemen? Because
there's a subject this touches on that is going on in the church right now, and that's